Hey guys, welcome to Appalachia's Homestead. Patara with you today. It is awful outside. We are definitely in fall and pushing winter mode here on the homestead. We've gotten everything caught up, but I'm in the mood to bake. The holidays are on the way. And I thought, I want to make some bread today, some homemade bread. But I want to put a spin on it. So I am adapting a recipe. May turn out great, may turn out good, may turn out terrible, or it could turn out epic. Let's find out. All right, guys, so what I'm going to do today is simply take my Nana's, look at that handwritten little thing. I've had this for years. Added to it, changed it. It's crinkled up. This is her handwritten recipe. I always go over to my Nana's house and we sit around. I'm like, write that down, write that down. So she gets a little notebook and she writes down recipes for me. They're like history for my family at this point. So I keep everything. But anyway, I'm going to kind of take a spin on it, okay? So if you've seen her video, I've got several videos on a lot of her recipes. I'm literally going to just flip it up. I'm going to take her recipe, which is her banana nut bread, basically. You can put nuts in it or not. You can add chocolate chips to it or not, whatever you like. But I'm going to change it up. Instead of doing 4 to 5 bananas, I'm only going to do 2, okay? So it's going to have that a little bit of banana to it, but I'm going to add some pumpkin to it. I've got to do something with this apple butter. I've got about maybe 1/4 to 1/2 of a cup of apple butter. I use apple butter for everything. I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to add, I've got a small little apple here. It's kind of going by the wayside. It's not bad yet, but they start looking a little wrinkly. So I'm going to chop it up real fine and put it in there. You could add nuts, which I'm going to. I'm going to add some pecans, but and I'm going to follow the recipe. I might add a splash of some type of flavoring. I don't know if I'll do this or I don't know. I'm also going to add my vanilla, homemade vanilla. You're going to have your baking soda, lots of yummy sugar, and I may even put in some sorghum. I don't know. I don't want to make it too wet because then it won't bake up. So that's why I'm cutting back the bananas. I'm only going to add maybe 1/2 cup of the pumpkin, but I want to give it a kind of a fall, festive type deal. I've had several different types of muffins and breads like this. Sometimes they'll add dates and raisins or craisins and crazies and coconut and all that. You can do that too. You can add walnuts, would be fabulous. Oh dear. So I'm going to whip it up. We're going to whip a nay-nay. We're going to try it out. This is how great recipes and breads and whatnots are discovered. Let's get rocking. Okay, so here we go. We're going to put in 1/2 cup of butter. I've already heated it up in my Starry Hilder off-grid homestead cup. Then I'm going to put in a full cup of sugar. In fact, I'd be willing to bet that's more than a hair more than a cup. Guys, I'm just going to cream these together is all I'm going to do. Once I get these creamed together, I'm going to pop in 2 fresh, farm fresh eggs, and then those are my 2 bananas. They're pretty ripe, and I mashed them already, mashed them up, and I'm going to just cream all of this together. That's how we're going to roll. All right, guys, those ingredients are mixed. We have the butter, sugar, eggs, and bananas. I'm going to add in apple butter, a little bit of pumpkin. I'm going to add in some spices of ground cloves and cinnamon. I'm going to add in a little bit of molasses and a splash of vanilla. All right, guys, right here we have 2 cups of plain white flour. I added in some baking soda and a little bit of baking powder. I did about 1/2 teaspoon or so, or maybe a little bit less on my baking soda. It's right here. And then over here is my baking powder. And I did closer to 1 teaspoon there. I always am more generous with my baking powder than I am my baking sodas. So you just want to mix these and blend them together. I'm not adding salt. I don't think we're going to need it. So just get these dry goods going. Then we're going to add it to the wet goods over in the KitchenAid, my Miss Louise, okay? And then I'm going to fold in, if you haven't seen, I have apple. I took that one apple and it's in my chopper. And then I'm gonna add in also the pecans. Just gonna fold that into the batter. So let's get going. And the oven is preheating. So we are on the move. Okay, folks, all I did, you can see the color is gorgeous. Look at that. What I did was mix in the flour, and then I've mixed it, mixa, and then I've dropped in about a half cup of chopped pecans, and those are the apples. Just gonna lower it. Oh, look at that. Is that not gorgeous? You could add a little bit more pumpkin if you want, whatever you desire. Just gonna fold those items in real brief. And we'll be ready to pour the batter in, bake at 350, and we're gonna try it for about 1 hour. Okay, that's what I baked the banana bread at, around there. So we'll just kind of eyeball it. You can also make a glaze if you wish. That would be really good. Okay, so here she is. Plenty of batter. We're gonna see how it bakes up. I'm gonna add on top some brown sugar, just because I can. I've got my helper here, aren't you? Gonna just sprinkle some brown sugar. You can do white sugar, you can do more cinnamon, whatever you like. I'm just playing, just right here. And then I'm gonna reach over. I think I am. And there's the brown sugar. And let's add some more pecans. Right on top. Here's all my mess. There's the batter. Here's the puppy. You cannot eat this. No, not yet. Not yet, Miss Cora. Okay, we're gonna bake it at 350, guys, for about an hour. See how she does, give or take, and we will find out. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah. All right, guys, look at that. I wanted to film it just like this. Came right out. So I have several baking loaf pans. One is my stainless steel right there, and I also have, I love my cast iron, but I went with this today, and you can see I put a little bit of parchment in there and some spray, and woo, looky here. This has been cooling, and let's check it out. So my husband tasted the batter, and he loved it. So here's what we're looking like. Anxious to see how it turned out. Let's go. Where's the butter? Butter, butter. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is how we're turning out. Look at those slices. Is that not awesome? Every time anybody makes bread, everybody says, let it cool and slice it. We want to see the inside. Well, there you go. So I encourage you to oh, where are we going to start? Let's start right here. Look here. I encourage you to try new things, try new recipes, mix your different items together. See what you can do. That's the best of from scratch baking and cooking, okay? Go for it. Let's see how this tastes. Stop it. Definitely taste the bananas. You can go figure. A hint of the pumpkin. I can definitely taste cinnamon, which, you know, I'm bananas for that, no pun intended. But you know what else would be good in here? Like I told you before, raisins or walnuts, coconut, whatever you like. I absolutely baked this at 350 for 1 hour. 1 hour got it. So go for it, guys. Thanks for watching Appalachia's Homestead. Just go for it. We'll talk to you soon.